Hello, this is Crypto CJ, and it's the Friday afternoon Zoom trade of the day. I'm back from vacation. Feels good to be back. My Phoenix Suns are tearing up the NBA, so loving that. Playing tonight, Game 3 against Dallas. Looks like I have no NBA fans watching me today, so all right. Anyway, but while I was gone, Bitcoin did all kinds of annoying things. Dropped under 40, dropped under 36, kind of hovering around 36 now. All my shorts were cleared out, so I guess that's the good news. Bad news is a lot of my longs are pummeled, as are my bags and some of the long-term holds I have, but I don't have too many of those because I'm a day trader. Anyway, let's look at the chart. Okay, you should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that confirmation. And we've been trading in this range, but I had to adjust it because it was up here. I've set the range beginning not quite a month ago, April 10th, to 44,000 on the top side and 35,000 on the bottom. You can see now we're just hanging around 36, a little bit below. You know, it's Friday afternoon, the weekend's coming. It usually means lower volume, and you know, prices tend to dip over the weekend. So I'm really not in many day trades at the moment. I did pick up one on GALA. We'll talk about that in a minute. You know, the news, the Fed raised interest rates 0.5 point. You know, that should have been anticipated. So I thought that was built into the price already, but you know, the overall stock markets and the crypto markets dropped some more after that announcement. Could be other issues too, but that's the main one.
See, CJ, I think they also announced that they were going to do it again next month, and I think that was the different factor, or the factor that wasn't factored in.
Yeah, good point there, Craig. So yeah, if they're forecasting raises in the future, then that would make people nervous. So pulling liquidity out of the markets is going to drop prices. So that's a bummer, but again, with the inflation being what it is, not surprising. So you know, be careful on your entry points on longs. Be ready to ladder buy. If you use that strategy, go in, you know, maybe a quarter to a third to a half of your usual amount on longs. You know, and if you're leverage trading like I do on the short side, that can be a little nervous too, because we're at the bottom of this range, and if the markets pump up, you know, it could be stuck and could get the short squeeze, and that's no fun. All right, any questions on Bitcoin? Let's take a look at Ethereum. On Ethereum, we're getting a series of lower lows. I'm on the 4-hour chart here, but I left the divergence indicator on. You know, we've talked about divergence many times. It's kind of like dip trading. It's counter the trend, but what I've noticed this calendar year, well, probably the last couple months, is using this indicator on the 4-hour chart can get you some pretty nice movement in Ethereum. I've been trading this a couple times now. They're really more like swing trades because you tend to be in them for a couple days. But as you can see, I'm gonna kind of cherry pick here. Like this one, 3 indicators went off on bullish divergence on April 11th at 5 p.m. You know, we got to move nearly 5%. I'm usually looking for 3 to 4%, depending on what the charts are showing me. So, you know, we got that nice move there. You know, on a short, it went against us, and then made a nice move down. So that would have been profitable. And you can see most of these are profitable trades based on divergence. That's something you guys might want to consider doing. Sort of a long day trade, short swing trade, kind of a tweener type thing on the 4-hour chart. And I've only looked at like Bitcoin and Ethereum on this, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's some other, you know, altcoins that have this kind of pattern too. So Yeah, I hope that's useful for you guys. So any questions on, oh, and then where's this going? It wouldn't surprise me if we got down to 2,500. Because we just keep slogging down on this. Let's go to the day chart. Yeah, it's just trending down to pretty much following the 4. And then on divergence, if you set divergence on the day chart, they don't happen very often, but you can get some pretty large moves. Yeah, here's a bullish one here, went down at first, you know, down 10%, maybe a ladder buy in here, and then you take 2 positions up, you know, 10% in 10 days, you know, that's pretty good swing trade. But swing trading is not why we're here, but I did notice this on the chart, so I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Which indicator is that again, please?
This is the divergence indicator I use.
Okay.
That's got all divergences. So divergence for many indicators, version 4, make sure you get version 4. And it's alert friendly too, which I like about it. You know, right click on here. You can go negative. Usually want to set one for negative, one for positive if you just want to keep trading it. So.
And you don't like what does the 2-hour one do? Not as good?
I don't know if I've tried that one. So yeah, that one's a loser there. This one remains to be seen. On the recent ones, it did pick up bearish divergence nicely, you know, in this time frame. The bullish ones haven't done as well, but that's to be expected with I think we're essentially in a bear market now at this point, depending on who you talk to. But yeah, the shorter time frames on divergence, yeah, I tried to scalp divergence on the 5-minute and that didn't work at all. 15-minute isn't bad. You know, I'll go to 30 or an hour sometimes if I'm trying to catch a day trade. But what I'm showing you here on the 4-hour chart is really more of a kind of a long, like I said, a long day trade or a short swing trade. So, all right, any questions on that before we go to Altcoin Alert?
CJ, you said you take two trades on that one where you said it was going when it was going up.
2 trades.
Didn't you say that? Or you'd like?
I probably said 2 alerts.
2. Oh, okay.
Yeah, some divergences will have an option that just says where it changes, but you have to set whichever one you think it's going to be. If you're looking for positive divergence, you got to set it. If you're looking for negative, you got to set that. I don't really care about hidden or regular. I just go with the basic divergence. So
yeah, or he was also suggesting you might have to ladder buy in once or twice.
Yes,
so that might have been what you were referring to.
But that's not specific to divergence. I would use ladder buying in any strategy, pretty much. I did talk, at least I think I did last week, about some straddle trading I've been doing. I know Craig's done some of that. And it's sort of like, let's see if I can find an example here. Like I've talked many times when I'm on the 5-minute chart, I don't like to trade when it's on the SMA line. But say on the 15 or 20-minute chart, if it's sitting on the SMA line, and if it's between a range, then sometimes I'll trade both ways. Like this isn't a real good example because this is, you know, the range is here and everything's towards the bottom. But well, you know what? I have a trade I did that'll be a better example of that. So I'll show that in a minute. Right. Any questions on Ethereum before we go to Altcoin Alert? Okay. So Altcoin Alert, I'm on the altcoin radar. Easy mode is off. Let's make that smaller. And I'm going to refresh. First thing I do is go to the AA score, see if I can find something 80 or above. I find that with GALA. And this was pretty similar to what it was this morning. It was a little higher on the score. I think it was 86.7, around 9:15 this morning. So I was looking at this one. And yeah, it was right about here. So I'm seeing it in between a range. It had just been up here for 3.5, 4% move, and it had just been down here for about a 5% drop. So I thought, I want to make one trade today. I'll go ahead and take this both directions. So I did that around 9:15, and then I made an error of omission. I forgot to set. I set two letter buy on both directions, both long and short, but I forgot to set an exit for my long position. And we all know what happens when you forget to set an exit. It hits that exit and then falls back, which is exactly what it did. So I was looking to get out right around here, around 1.47. And it went up to 1.478 and then dropped. And I didn't notice that till I was doing the prep for this. So I missed out on my profit. Of course, now it's in the negative. So, my short's doing better, but I missed out on my long trade.
Yes.
So, what I want to emphasize is, I had a specific strategy. I was just a little sloppy about not doing it correctly. I must have got distracted or something. I forgot
Yes.
to set my exit. So I think
DJ, what I often do when I'm doing that is the one that comes to profit, I close out. I then use that to buy back into the short.
You have to come and see the house and fill out an application, and
okay.
applications through next week.
I'm trying to. It's not letting me mute.
I will review them and call references and whatnot.
All right. Well, we know how. We know how Linnell rents out her real estate now. So what her qualifications are. All right. So I took care of that. But yeah, that's a good strategy. Take that profit and then buy another position in the other direction. I like to set I set my ladder buys and my exits at the same time. So, and I usually get away from the computer. I have portions of time that I like to dedicate towards analysis and checking up on things. And I do it pretty frequently, but I really don't want to sit at the computer all day. So
I think you can set that to sell and automatically rebuy it with conditional orders.
Yeah, I haven't talked about conditional orders here yet. I've done a few of them myself. But again, I think that's mostly a leverage. Can you do that on spot? I'm not sure if you can do conditional on spot, but you might be able to. That might be something we talk about in the future. And conditional is just like it sounds. It's usually when you want something to go up and to show strength, and then you get in. So, or the other way around, you want something to drop for a while, and then catch that trend the other way. So anyway, I'm in this GALA trade both directions. I missed out on my exit on my long, but it'll come back. So, and overall, we didn't do the whole analysis here, but like most of the trades we've looked at this year, this calendar year, they all had big pumps in November, between October and December. So there's plenty of room for them to return at some point. But we are towards the bottom of the trading range. But I do have room down here for my short to go down and get me out in profit too. So my short down here, my long up here should get me out, over the weekend or early next week. But all right. And in that trade, I didn't use this chart. I was looking at a trend based. I was on the chandelier exit, this one here. And I was trying to catch it. It had dipped a little bit. I wanted to catch this trend. It was above the SMA line on the 20-minute chart. So I was looking to catch what I thought was a trend going up, and it did go up. I just didn't get out when I should have. So, all right. Any questions on GALA before we look for some more trades on Altcoin Alert? All right. Well, that's the only one that's above 80 is GALA. We talked about that in some detail. Got Alice here pretty close at 79.1. So let's look at Alice. Okay, on the day chart, big pump in November, pretty big crash since then. So lots of room to come back. Didn't really recover that well early this year. On the hour, got to move up to about 550 a couple days ago. And pretty big drop with the rest of the market yesterday, kind of going sideways since then on the hour chart. The 5-minute, got a dip here, but no bubble. So with some pretty good short-term support right here, right around 470. So I like that as an entry. Force between say 470, 475 as far as a short-term support. So that's one option. And then the others, we can use our indicators on the 15-minute chart. Got bullish divergence forming on the momentum indicator, but it hasn't closed yet. This candle hasn't closed. It's got 10 more minutes. So I wouldn't rely on this because if the chart changes, if it drops some more, then maybe, actually if it goes up some more, it could invalidate it. So that's why when we do our alerts on the divergence, we always choose once per bar close because you want to make sure that candle closes. Okay, so we've got MFI alert crossing up on the 20. So that's one option that we like to use to get better entries. The one I use more often than that is the RSI crossing above 30, just the oversold area. I usually go once per bar close on that one as well. And then on the alert names, it's really up to you on how you do that. But when I have an altcoin alert score, I put the score in the alert name, 79.1. So that way I can log where my information is coming from. I think that's really important. I mean, obviously it's important to track profits and losses, but your information source, especially if you use several of them, I use 3 or 4. Yeah, you want to track that. So. Okay, so those are the options on Alice to get better entries. One more, I'm not dumping on you too much. If you want to catch a trend, I mean, what I just showed you are counter trends. We're trying to catch the pivot. Alice. So this is a chandelier exit, and this is a trend-based strategy. So, which isn't very helpful right now because Alice is just going straight across here on the 20-minute chart pretty much. But what I would do is I would put this alert chandelier exit buy. You can also do a direction change if you want to trade both directions. Buy once per bar close. And again, I would call this AA 79.1, but it's up to you what you call your alerts. And then you're good to go. And then if it triggers, I'll show you how to find this one real quick. I think most of you guys have been on, just type in chandelier exit. Yeah, it's Everget. A lot of people have downloaded this one, over 4,000. So that's the one I use. And you can put some other indicators on here too, for confirmation. I've got this trend strength, MFI, which is on my other chart, RSI also on my other chart. So on this one, on this buy, if this buy signal goes off, the MFI is trending up, RSI is trending up, squeeze, I got the squeeze momentum and that's in the green, and this trend strength in the green. So a lot of confirmation, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. So it doesn't really, it only goes up slightly and then it drops. So like most indicators, they work maybe 50 to 60, 65% of the time, but way better than nothing. So, okay, any questions on Alice? Alrighty then, let's do the other sort that I like to do is the long-term sentiment sort. And ideally, we would find bullish on the long-term sentiment, which is the Twitter data, the word on the street, what people are talking about. You can hover over this question mark, it'll explain more what it is. And the Elder Impulse daily is a technical indicator. So when these match up, that's worthy of further investigation, I think. Unfortunately, we don't have many of them matching up today. You got a bunch of very bullish and the technicals are disagreeing. So I'm going to scroll down a little farther, see if I can find a bullish and a bullish match. Yeah, I've got this in Tron. Tron's been in the news last couple days, introducing a new stable coin. So that's pushed up the value of Tron, and it's up almost 15% today. So it's a little more than I would like, might be played out. Let's check it out though. Okay, good old Tron. Might find some use out of this token. Okay, on the day chart, big move in November, lost most of it, but recovering pretty well, probably based on current news. Yeah, it's recovered over half of its losses. Most tokens have not, so that's intriguing. On the hour, God, it's got some really good movement here on the hour. But trending up the last few hours. We might be too late. Riding the top of the Bollinger Band at the moment.
Could be a nice short for you.
Maybe. Yeah. I think I did short this earlier in the week. Yeah, actually I longed it on the 4th. That's the only time I traded it. So yeah, I agree with Robert. This is intriguing as a short. So right click, divergence. Once per bar close. This is the long-term sentiment. So that's the sort I used, and there's my alert.
It might be interesting before you fully leave this, if we compare this to what Bitcoin's doing right now in that same time frame, because this might be breaking out from Bitcoin.
Well, it is. We know that from just seeing Bitcoin going down.
Right. So probably just strengthen the short ability.
Yeah, so Bitcoin's down 1.24%, and we saw that,
Yeah.
Tron was up close to 15. So it definitely broke away from Bitcoin today. Again, probably based on that news. Though that's not brand new. That news actually is a couple days old. Probably the insiders were aware and were buying earlier in the week, and I caught that on my long. Not that I was an insider, but got a little lucky. And then, but is it played out? It's well, we'll find out. I like to do a short, at least one on Friday night anyway. This might be the one, so we'll see. Now, if you want to go long on this, if you think, hey, I think it's it's had some retraces and then pumps here on the 15-minute chart, this is where you put your alert on bullish divergence, or you do your MFI and your RSI like I just showed you on GALA. So I would probably go with well, sometimes look at them. I mean, they trend pretty close frequently, but not all the time. So I might look here and see, okay, now when the price dipped below the 30 and came up, did it go into profit fairly quickly? At least in this circumstance, it did. This one didn't break below 30 or 20, just missed it. This one here broke on the MFI, slightly below 20, down to 18, and got a slight bump up here, 4% though. That's really good as a day trader. But if you hung on, maybe tried to get more up to 5%, then probably do a ladder buy in here somewhere, and then you get out, somewhere around here. So that one would work out pretty well. All right, any questions on Tron? Okay. Let's see. That was the only one that qualified for that sort. And Robert, you've been kind of chatty. Let's put you on the spot. We talked about your 24-hour change
Right.
sort last week. Remind everybody how you use that.
Yeah, I have, well, rather than using it how you have it set now, I put the biggest losses at the top.
Stinker alert, yes.
Yes, and so I want to look for what's been dumping a lot, and then I look for a couple of other, strong indicators along the way. And then in my case, I also then look to see if it's on Bybit, because that's where I happen to be trading, but it'll work on any platform. But doesn't look like anything is jumping out.
Well, we have Luna here down about 5%.
Yeah. What's the AA score on that?
And it's 71.4.
Okay. So that's,
Okay.
yeah, so that's a possible thing to look at, and that's had a lot of action lately.
It has. So yeah, I kind of like this as maybe my third option here, because we just went through AA scores and long-term sentiment. Usually those provide plenty of options, but if they don't, I like Robert's approach here for plan C. If I use something like this enough and do better than my others, I'll promote it. Plan B, plan A. So we'll see. But
It's
yeah.
also, by the way, showing a possible upside of 3.2% within the day in that middle column to your right there.
Okay.
That's what, in case people don't know what that is, that's the range of what it's projecting. It might go up or down, I believe, within the day.
Yeah. Oh, it
So-
just kind of skipped on me. It updated. Yeah, and Kava is also on the Bybit, so that's another one you could look at. So okay.
Yep, Kava is a good one to trade.
Mm-hmm. And we got Rune as well, though the AA score is not as high. So I'm not sure if Rune's on Bybit. I think it is, but then if you're not on Bybit, if you're on KuCoin or something like that, and you're trading spots, so you could do this, this approach just as well. But like Numer, I believe, is on KuCoin, and It's down almost 10%, but bullish on the AA score. Not a great endorsement, but could be worth a look on the chart. So
Did you want to look at the Luna?
yeah, I was about to say, let's go ahead and look at one since we're here.
And it's also lost a higher percentage than Bitcoin, which
Mm.
might mean it has a better recovery chance.
Yeah, Terra Luna just bought a bunch of Bitcoin, I saw,
A lot.
to support
Really a lot.
their stable coin UST. I think that's how that works. All right, so let's get the big picture here. Yeah, so this has had some nice movement to the upside. You know, as early as a month ago, it lost quite a bit of that. You know, 30%, recovered about half and lost it again. So this keeps trading like that. This is a day trader's dream, this kind of action. Let's look at the day or the hour. Yeah, I've got support here right around 78 to 80. Yeah, I've been looking at this a lot since I got back. I haven't pulled the trigger on Luna yet, but this might be one to catch to the upside and then maybe trade both directions if it gets up here. Now let's look at the, say, 15-minute. Yeah, because right now it's really at the bottom of its range. Yeah, below 80. This was pumping well above 100 not that long ago, so it's got room to move back. Yeah, so excuse me, go to your 15-minute chart. We try to catch some bullish divergence. This one was not successful, but these have done pretty well. You know, if you caught this one this morning, you know, that's a 3.5% move. That's pretty nice for a day trade. So, and we're already down towards the bottom of the RSI and the MFI, so it's due to potentially drop even a little bit lower and then curl back up, show some strength coming back. So I think I will go with MFI alert on this one. Yeah, that one did really well. This one did too. So add an alert on the MFI, crossing up 20 once per bar close. Robert R suggestion, 24-hour sort on AA. I've done that before. Yeah, you're in my trading view, dude.
I have a name
Yeah.
on the board.
All right. So I don't always do alerts on the show, but I've done -1 on Tron, +1 on Luna. We'll see. So any other things you want to look for on Altcoin Alert or any other coins you want to look at? Any other crypto stuff? Okay. Well, this is about normal for Friday. We're at about 35 minutes, so I think that's a pretty good time to wrap it up. If you are on, if you're a Carbon member, I'm going to hang around. We'll do a brief chat before Kevin's webinar coming up in 23 minutes. So if you're watching on the recording, I certainly appreciate that. Please check the comments for some additional opportunities. Otherwise, happy trading. Have a good weekend.